Hello and tremendous day. I'm your host, Jade Harrell, and today we're going to take a journey around St. Charles for fresh fashion and a fresh take on the concept of pausing for the cause. Today we meet the talent and trendsetters of a dynamic new fashion show presented by the students of Lindenwood University, and we'll meet the adorable guests of honor of a fundraiser created to help our four-legged friends. Each week we bring you the latest information, events, ideas, and opportunities around St. Charles and St. Charles County. It's up to you to take it from there. We invite you to get up and get out and discover all you learn about today. So come on and join us as we go around St. Charles.
It's a beautiful day out here. Sunny today with light breezes, giving way to clouds in the afternoon. We could see some light precipitation to moderate precipitation later on, followed by powerful storm-like conditions. 90 miles per hour winds are expected. Authorities are asking everyone, stay indoors. Come on, that's it. Let's go.
They told me a bottle couldn't dream. That I would never become a superhero. But I learned how to fly. Just to come back in a new disguise. And be the hero that I've always wanted to be.
Welcome back. Well, the Lindenwood Fashion Department is hosting their annual fashion show, and they're doing it this year in grand style. The Changemakers are here with us today. Richard Cotto from the Graduate Student Program and Megan Opich from the Undergraduate Program. So glad to have you guys with us today.
Thank you for having us here.
It is my great pleasure. So tell me a bit about the fashion department, both graduate and undergraduate, and how you've come into your craft. We'll start with you.
Well, first of all, I think that there's 14 of us, and we basically just start as freshmen and we learn how to sew, just the basics, and then from there we learn pattern making and draping, and then we learn design. And then we design our collection from intermediate, then we design a mini collection, and now here we are designing our final senior collection. So it's really exciting because having such a big group of people, everybody's so unique and everybody's style and aesthetic and designs are so different. So this is really going to be a good show, I think, because it's going to be everybody's, I guess, everybody's designs and how everybody's evolved from the start. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be really cool to see how everyone's designs turn out.
Oh, sure. Was this the beginning for you? Was this your first experience?
With sewing?
Yeah.
No, I had kind of sewn a little bit prior, like starting in high school, I think, and I just did it more for fun, and then I decided to actually do it for school. So.
Okay. So how is it different for you from what you were kind of experimenting before to being in a full-out show?
It's a lot more work. Oh. So many more deadlines, I think, but it's cool because I have so much more knowledge. So, and that's what Lindenwood's been able to give me, is more knowledge of the industry and of designing, and it's given me a bit more freedom just because I have so much more knowledge and so many more opportuniunities.
Mm-hmm. Is there a future in this for you then now?
I hope so.
Okay.
Yeah, I hope to get a job in the industry after I graduate.
Yeah, what would you do?
I think it'd be cool to be like a buyer, or even just to design my own line on the side, or I'm not entirely sure yet.
Right,
so.
but you know that's where you're headed,
right? Absolutely, yeah.
Well, Richard, you're in the graduate program. Now, did you come through undergrad previously? Excuse me.
Yes.
Okay.
This would be my third degree in fashion.
Oh, we've got to talk about your superhero story then. It's a passion for you.
Trust me, after the third one, I know that I'm where I'm supposed to be.
Is that right?
Yes.
How did you know, when did you first know that this was it for you?
It was weird because I started, I've always had a passion for craft and doing stuff with my hands. So I started dealing with a lot of fabric, and then my first year I did it in civil engineering. Completely different story. And then one day an angel came in my way and told me, no, you should be in fashion or industrial design. And I started like that, and I actually started doing dog costumes.
Dog costumes.
Dog
now, where
costumes.
were there dog fashion shows?
There were dog fashion shows, there were dog weddings, and you would be amazed how much people pay
Oh, wow.
for a dog costume.
Well, I think I'd also be amazed at the level of skill it would take to create costumes.
Something this
for-
tiny,
Yeah,
it's actually even more difficult than creating something life-size.
I can imagine.
It
So, what
is.
have you learned along the way about the industry that has you so hooked?
It is tough. Every time everybody comes to me and asks me, why are you there? And it's a lot of tears. It is tough, but it is an industry that moves millions and billions of dollars in the world, and I do feel passionate about it. I do love seeing people that just feel pretty because of the way they dress. It represents everybody's uniqueness. It makes who you are. That's who you are. You every time you open that closet, you feel this way, you feel that way. And I kind of feel it on my own self. So I do love what I do.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know, it cannot be explained.
Sure. Now, when you say there were tears, I'm assuming these are tears of joy because you love it that much.
It goes both ways.
Okay.
After you finish a show, it's tears of joy. When you're creating the garments, it's tears of frustration. It's tears of,
True.
when is this going to be over?
Right.
But with each passing day, you see the light at the end of the tunnel.
Sure. Well, this is a big show, you guys, and so this is your first show of being a designer, I assume?
No, this is my third here
Oh, great.
at Lindenwood.
Okay,
Yeah.
so your seasons. What about you, Richard?
I've had the chance to work a lot in the fashion industry. I've been in Fashion Week, Puerto Rico, not New York, maybe someday. But I've been around a few years, more than a few years.
So let's talk about the show. What can we expect, and what did you bring with you today that you're sharing?
Well, this is my first look for my collection. My collection is inspired by chandeliers, crystal chandeliers. So this is just one of 5 looks that are going to be in the show. I think as far as what you can expect in general, just a lot, like I said before,
Unique stuff.
we're a very unique, diverse group of people, and you can see that through all of our designs. So everything is so different from one another, but it's really going to be cool just to have all of our stuff go down the runway together and see what everybody came up with.
Sure. So you've been along this journey together.
Yeah.
From start to fashion show culmination. So this is a real big moment for you guys, right?
Yes,
Let's talk
very
about
exciting.
your piece, Richard.
Well, in a graduate studies, well, of course, you have to make a proposal, and your contribution to the fashion world, in my case. So I decided to choose the future side of fashion, what's going to happen in the next 50 years. And it's not so much about the design, but how the elements that go into each design help you in this utopical world, which in my case, I've been doing a lot of research, and it's like, hey, the sun is a star and it might die any day. So what's going to happen? And I come from a place that we live an extreme temperature, so 110, 120 degree temperature during the day, and maybe it might go down to 50 if we're lucky. But there's other cultures that do have way more extremes, but it's not people like you and me. So my proposal is just for people that live in a metropolis, let's say Chicago, New York, that are not exposed to that everyday life. So what could you do in the moment to adapt yourself to this climate change?
And so how does the piece reflect that? That's great.
So I took a lot of inspiration based from architectural elements and how they create this infrastructure that its main purpose is to maintain our balance and our temperature. And so that's why we do have dualities of layer in most of my garments. In this case, I just chose a sheer fabric that's main purpose is to reduce the impact of light. And then you do have an external layer, kind of like armor, that is meant to reflect even more light because of the shininess of it.
I just love hearing you talk about this. Look, I
Thank
mean,
you.
the depth and the thought that goes into it and all the pieces, we have no idea. It just looks really great. But there's so much that went into it. And when you say where you're from, is that Puerto Rico? Mm-hmm. Okay, I love it. And yeah, that would bring to mind how hot it can get in the day and cool at night. Yes. You all were introduced to me through your instructor, and that's Miss Nichelle Ortiz.
Yes.
Can you tell me a little bit about her and her impact for you?
Go ahead.
Well, she's been a great influence as far as design goes. She's really helped to push us basically to our limits as like creatively and just the amount of work that we do. She's definitely always encouraging us to explore deeper into our concepts. And I think that's what makes our collection so thought-filled, because we're encouraged to research. We're encouraged to do the thinking and making the decisions based on what you know and what your stuff is going to be inspired by.
Sure.
So, yeah, she definitely helps us with that a lot, and yeah, she's been great.
Well, Richard, I'm going to leave it to you to also share with me the invitation to come to the show.
Yes. So the show is going to be in Mercedes-Benz of St. Louis. So it's going to be a grand venue, an amazing sponsor, which we're very thankful for 2 years backing us out. And it's going to start at 7 for the VIP reception, 8 for general admissions. We still have tickets available for all three. So it's going to be 35 VIP, 25 general admissions, and 10 standing, which I personally do love standing. I don't like going through people. I just like standing and seeing everything from behind. So I think it's the best one.
What are you most proud of?
In my career?
Yeah.
Or just...
I'll take that answer.
Being here.
Yeah.
It's been a long journey.
Okay. Good for you. Good for you both. Very excited about it. Lindenwood University's Richard Cotto and Megan Opich, and also special thanks to Nichelle Ortiz. Thanks everybody. The Fashion Department show is happening on May 7th at Mercedes-Benz of St. Louis. The show starts at 8 p.m. with VIP admission at 7 and doors opening for general admission at 7:30 p.m. You can get your tickets at the Scheidegger box office and check out pictures and details on the Facebook page of the Lindenwood University Fashion Design Program fan page. Coming up next, we'll take a pause for the cause, literally, a special fundraising event to benefit the animals at 5 Acres Animal Shelter in St. Charles when we come back.
I guess sometimes things just happen. Devastating things. It's got nothing to do with fairness. Bam, your whole world changes in an instant. And you never see it coming. That's what happened to me the day my mother had a stroke. I'm Paul George, and I want you to learn the signs of a stroke fast. F-A-S-T. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911. Because the sooner they get to the hospital, the sooner they'll get treatment. And that can make a remarkable difference in their recovery. Protect the ones you love. Spot a stroke. F-A-S-T. Fast.
Everywhere that we go, he makes people laugh and makes people smile, and I feel like I have that quality.
He's the one who always takes me fishing.
I watch golf with him. And
I watch him cook because when I grow up, I want to be a cook too.
We have the same faces like this.
Dad is the one, when you fall, that picks you up.
That unconditional sense of presence and reassurance is really what makes him my father.
Well, Uncorked is the name of this special event to benefit the animals at the 5 Acres Animal Shelter in St. Charles. With us today is Becky Kruger and her friends Snicker and Oreo. Welcome to the program.
Thank you so much for having us.
Let's talk about Uncorked.
Uncorked is a fantastic event. It's a fundraiser that benefits the animals like Snickers and Oreos at 5 Acres Animal Shelter. It's going to be on Sunday, May 15th at the Foundry Arts Center here in St. Charles.
Excellent. So this is your annual event and fundraiser. Is it your big awesome way to do it every year?
Yes, this is our biggest event of the year, and it features beer, food, spirits, and wine tasting event from some of the area's best restaurants, breweries, wineries. The selection of food and drinks is just amazing, and it's so much fun.
Sure. Well, tell us more about the shelter.
The shelter is located on Prowley Lane in St. Charles. We've been around since 1973, but most people don't even know we exist, and a lot of that is because we used to be St. Charles Humane Society, and now we've recently changed our name, and we are growing. Our adoptions are going fantastic, and we're really getting the word out about wonderful pets like these two.
Yeah, well, tell us a little bit more about these two.
These guys, these are actually 2 of 4. There's 2 more back at the shelter that look just like Snickers there, and they're 8 weeks old, so I think they're going to be pretty big boys.
Oh, yeah.
We don't know what exactly the breed is here, but we do know that mom was 30 pounds, dad was 70.
Yeah.
So we're thinking they're going to be pretty big size.
They sure are. And so how does one go about helping them find their forever homes?
We do whatever we can to make sure that we find the best fit for each animal that's in our shelter. If anyone's interested in adopting, we have you come meet with these guys, spend some time, see if it's going to be a good fit, and work with our adoption counselors just to make sure that it's all good. They will all be spayed and neutered before adopted.
Wonderful.
They're current on their vaccinations. The dogs that are over 6 months old are heartworm tested. Cats are feline and leukemia tested. So they're healthy, they're ready to go and ready for their new families.
Absolutely. How can we be a help to the shelter on an ongoing basis?
Oh my goodness, there's so many things that volunteers can do, from walking the dogs to socializing cats, helping with special events, helping take some of these animals for a walk down a busy street on a Saturday to really get them exposure and get them adopted. We have volunteers that help us with events and all kinds of fun things.
Absolutely. What is your background there, Becky? You're the director.
I'm the director. I actually started as a volunteer many years ago at a shelter in another state, and once I stepped foot into that facility with those animals, those puppy dog faces, I knew that it was a changer for me, that was going to be what I was going to do.
For sure.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's had the same effect of all of us here. We lost our entire crew for a minute when the puppies came in.
We did, and the puppies love it too, so it works out.
It does work out. So what is the state of being now with pets and them having homes or becoming homeless? I hear things are getting pretty tough out here for our little friends.
It's kind of it's always been a problem of pet overpopulation, where there are just too many animals and not enough homes. So what the St. Louis area has really done well over the past few years is offering low-cost spay-neuter services to residents, so that everyone can have the opportunity to get their pets fixed, which is really helping. It is helping, isn't it?
That's
helping
right.
in pet overpopulation. So I think we need to continue that, and just education and teaching people why they need to be responsible pet owners.
For sure. Do you have any tips for folks to better care for or be on the lookout for the animals that we may run across in our neighborhoods?
I think that it's important that your own animals are current on vaccinations, and really important, up to date on heartworm prevention. April is Heartworm Awareness Month, and this is something that is very, very serious, but it's also very easy to prevent with a monthly preventative from the veterinarian. Heartworms are transmitted by a mosquito. So the dogs are outside, they get bit by the mosquito, and they end up with an infestation of worms living in their heart, and it eventually leads to their death. It can be treated. It's very expensive and it's very difficult on the dogs. Right now, we have 4 dogs that are treated for heartworms in our shelter. So we're seeing it on the increase, probably because of the mild winter. There are more mosquitoes around, so make sure that all of your pets are getting their monthly heartworm prevention.
Oh, monthly?
It's monthly, yes.
I did not realize that, nor did I realize that the mosquitoes were the ways to transmit.
Right.
So that's kind of frightening because you can't always detect that or prevent or keep them from getting bitten.
Exactly.
So, oh, wow. So let's talk a little bit more about the event. What do you hope for this year's success?
Well, we are expecting about 350 people to come out to the event. We have a huge space, so we've got plenty of room for everybody. Some of the activities, we have a wonderful auction. I was just reading through the list of some of the things that we'll be auctioning off, like a guitar signed by Nick Jonas. Cardinals tickets, VIP tickets, a lot of sports autographed memorabilia. Music lovers will enjoy it. So a lot of gift baskets, a lot of fun stuff, trips. I mean, it's amazing the auction items that we have. We will also have a musical guest. His name is Brett Young, and he is an up-and-coming country music singer he actually has a pretty cool story. He started as a minor league baseball player, and I think decided that his dream was really in music. So he moved to Nashville, and now he's touring, and he's going to present a show for us. So we're excited to hear that.
How do the funds help?
Oh my gosh, well, we are a nonprofit organization and we do not receive any money from the government. We are strictly run on donations. So events like this allow us to help more animals. Because we do put so much into our animals, like the spay-neuter surgery, the vaccinations, making sure that they're healthy, the money that's raised goes to helping these guys.
Absolutely. Well, we are so glad that you were in place and that you brought our fun friends, Oreo and Snickers, who's now made a home on my lap, which I don't mind at all one bit. They are very sweet, and we certainly appreciate the work you're doing and the outreach that you have.
Thank you.
And Uncorked, A Cause for the Paws is a wine, beer, and food tasting event to benefit animals like these at the 5 Acres Animal Shelter in St. Charles. The event is held at the beautiful Wine Country Gardens in Defiance. And for more information, you can contact Deb Solich at 5 Acres Animal Shelter by calling 314-651-5074. You can buy your tickets online at blacktie-missouri.com/RSVP and enter the event code PAWS14 for the paws. When we come back, stick around. We'll tell you about more exciting things going on around St. Charles.
Hey, did you know 2.4 million loving cats and dogs in shelters and rescues need our help to find a home? Let's go to theshelterpetproject.org and meet if you are in a shelter near you. Harlow, she's one great listener who loves to hear all your stories. My kind of cat. Cerulo is a sweet, goofy boy who's eager to please. Sounds just like another dog I know. So go to theshelterpetproject.org, search your local shelters and rescues, and go for a cuddle with your next best friend. Adopt.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat?
1 in 5 children struggles with hunger in America. Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
And welcome back. So why don't you bring the family out to the 10th Annual Baby Kid Expo, which will be held Saturday, May 7th from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the St. Charles Convention Center. The Baby Kid Expo is for all those busy families in the St. Louis area to experience, meet, and interact with leading children's retail, healthcare, and recreational educational providers. Admission is free, so be sure to bring the whole family with you. The Foundry Art Center invites you to join in on second Thursdays at the Foundry. May 12th from 5:30 to 8, there will be a variety of food trucks, a full cart drink bar inside the Grand Hall, and live original music. Be sure not to miss the chance to get creative with painters, potters, jewelers, dancers, and other expressive artists. You can find all this information and more at the Foundry Art Center's website. Music on Main is starting this month on May 18th from 5 to 7:30. Bring your lawn chairs. This free outdoor concert in the 100 to 200 blocks of North Main Street provides food and drink that are available to purchase. Music on Main Street will continue to be held the third Wednesday of each month all the way through September. So that's it for today, but until next time, live and love life's journey, and we'll see you around St. Charles. I'm Jade Harrell.